In this video we're gonna build a quick micro swale on our land, plant it, and then we're gonna head out to the townships, one of the poorest areas I've ever been in, and build a micro swale and build a food circle there, permaculture food circle. And then I'm gonna tell you a story about one of the best meals I ever had when I thought I was going to die. Probably the closest thing we have to a forest on the farm is here next to the river. And now that it's raining, it really does look like a forest. So as an overstory, we've got these big acacias, and then below them this is a wait a bit tree, which I'm not very fond of because they grab you and they tell you to wait a bit. It's got little thorns on them. And then between them we have raisin bushes. Now a raisin bush, this now looks like a bunch of sticks, but it's actually a very nice edible plant. It comes out every year. The animals love it, that's why it's also empty, and they grow as an understory plant. This one is still a bit more intact, and I have a little fruit. Let me see, some developing already, like that. There, and that turns into something that resembles a raisin, but it's only got a little thin skin that you can eat, and then a big pip. So the animals love it. If you find monkeys 2 months from now, you'll see that they've been eating almost only this. It's very sweet, very nice. The children love it. So because this is resembling a forest, and while we are waiting for the pickup truck to come back so we can go to Christy's house, we decided to do a zai pit here. So there's a little fall. There's a little fall from about here. It doesn't look like there's a ridge, but there's a ridge, and it's all the water then goes down in there. Then behind there's a little wall that I made in the river. So I think this is going to be quite a wet spot. Now these acacia trees, every year they drop their leaves, and so they create lots of biomass on the ground. If you can see there, let me zoom in, loads of sticks and leaves and things. So I think this soil will be very fertile as well. Okay, so we ended up putting a little mango tree in there. I hope you can see it. We're planting some veg around it, and we're gonna cut these invasive trees, thorn trees around it down, and use it as a cover to keep the sheep out. And I opened the tap to see if my angles are correct, but you will not believe how thirsty these soils are. And on the one side it gives me hope because you can fill them with thousands and thousands of liters of water, but on the other side it sort of takes a little bit of hope away, because you're not sure whether this berm will ever fill up, whether it will ever receive water. I don't think this catch-up area will be big enough to fill that up, but we are close to a tap, and the soil is constantly moist, almost it feels like it because it's below the trees, and we have that little catchment down there. So I think if we can just have it survive for a year, then the roots will be deep enough to look after itself. So today we are at Christy's house. We are going to do a little permaculture project here. I'm going to show you quickly what our design is, but first let me take you on a tour throughout the property. So in here, Christy's mother is quite a gardener. She planted some maize and some beans. Just zoom in for you. So the maize they planted on quite little heaps, and then on the sides they planted some beans as well. Alright, so let me do that. Morning, how are you? Good. And so this is the house where he's living. There is 5 people living in that house. A bit of cats outside there, and then that is the house of his big sister. So between them and the neighbors there are a couple of now the word has escaped me. Aloe veras, that's the right word. Aloe vera plants. And so let me show you our design quickly. So that is the lowest part of the property there, and so all the water runs there. But it also happens to be the gate where the cars needs to pass, so we can't do anything there. However, we plan to intercept the water here. See below here, below us, there is water running and goes there. So we're gonna have a little berm, and then we're gonna have a little grow pit over there. Christy works quite fast, and then Christy's mother is on her way back. I hope to get a tour of her big garden outside here as well. And then she offered to prepare us some of the food that we brought from the farm, some of our abundance. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. So after starting the project at Christy's house and meeting his older sister and having a look around, I snuck away. And the reason is, I thought, how nice would it have been, sorry, just need to stop here quickly, just a second. How nice would it be if they didn't have to worry about food for the next month, the whole family. And so that's what we're gonna do quickly. We're gonna do a bit of shopping. So I know I'm gonna be really uncomfortable getting the reaction of Christy's mother when I show her these groceries. And so I thought I'd show you quickly what we bought. So this is 10 kilograms of maize meal. It's a staple that we eat here. It will last them a long time. Lots of rice, 10 kilograms of rice, 10 kilograms of flour, and yeah, it is mostly what do you call these things, starches, but we have to also consider that they don't have a fridge, so this needs to last in the heat in the shack, so that's a problem. So then there was a special on sugar, so I bought 10 kilograms of sugar. I bought some seeds, different kinds of seeds. This actually also counts as a seed because the pumpkin is cheaper than the seeds are. So I bought a pumpkin, and then we can use the seeds. I bought them some laundry soap, bought them some dish soap. I bought 2 vegetable packs. In here you have a cabbage, some of these pumpkins, some onions, some carrots, and some potatoes there in the back. So I bought two of them. Now obviously they will go bad fast. I hope they use them up quickly, and then I will ask them to save these seeds and plant them again. Then I got them oil, and I got them macaroni, 10 kilograms of macaroni as well. No, sorry, not 10 kilograms, 5 kilograms of macaroni. So I bought some salt, and then just for the kids I bought some toffees. Now before we go on with the rest of the movie, I quickly want to just thank some people. There's people that buy with me coffees on the link below, and they are basically the people to fund all of this. None of this would have been possible without the funding of the coffee people. Christy's got a job, and he's feeding his mother and his all of his family, five other kids, together with his sister. Both of them are feeding that family, but Christy's salary comes from the coffee people buying me coffee. So if I don't mention your name directly, I am truly grateful for what you guys have done. There's 2 people that subscribe to my monthly thing. To you guys I'm especially grateful because it shows long-term trust, and I really appreciate it. Okay, I need to go and move grass quickly, and then we're going to go back to Christy's and see how he's progressing. So I found Moremi and Joseph on my way back to Christie, and they said they wanted to be part of this. So just excuse the sound of these leaves, but we are gathering mulch, filling up the pickup with mulch. So arriving back, taking off the mulch, everybody's looking. Okay, so Joseph, will you please translate? Meme? Thank you very much for having us in your home today. You can translate, Mos. Yeah, translate for me. I say thank you very much. Okay. We brought you a neem tree today. This one. Neem gebruik jy, you use it as a pesticide if you have insects. You mash it up, it kills the insects around the plants. Then balsam kupifa is a medicine for wounds. Okay. Then there's a guava. Then there's a mulberry. There in the back. And then we have a pomegranate. So apple ronde dingetjie. And then, because I want to say thank you for Christy, because Christy is very hard working. And she raised him well. I brought her some gifts and I want to show her. Joseph, you can. But I'll go out, Joseph. It's a pleasure. So sitting in here, there's some vegetables. Wow. Sugar and some meal. What's that? Flour. This one is for you. Sweets. Moremi, kyk of jy haar gesig kan sien. My mense gesig staan hierdie kant. This is spaghetti of pasta. Is daar nog? Rice. Pumpkins. Now this one, Joseph, translate for me. This one you must eat, then you must dry the seeds, and then plant them again. And then some pumpkin seeds and some cabbage seeds. Yeah. And then dish soap and clothing soap. Wat is daar nog? Akabo, oil and soap. Thank you. I was like, thank you, madam. Thank you. As a pleasure. All for Christy because he's working so hard. Okay, sharp. Okay, come on, stop. While the guys are finishing there, I found a little gem and I want to show it to you. This is a car. Used to be. So the boys, whoever car it was added, the peels from a milk carton. And they opened the doors. And so this is how you drive around with it. I think most innovation happens when there's some sort of hardship. Let's look at this. This is amazing. Innovation from a young child wanting a toy car. Okay, final update on the food circle, or final for today anyway. We have a pomegranate here, and there it actually looks like we brought 3 pomegranates. I thought we brought 1. There's a neem, there's a moringa that I forgot to tell the lady about. There is a mulberry. So what we will do now is open them up a little bit, then pull the mulch away, and then plant the pumpkin seeds. I bought pumpkin seeds that's ready to be planted, and then we will water them. Mara. And then that will then feed the trees, and then all the black water from the kitchen they will throw in that pit there, and that will also feed the trees and feed the food circle. And then this can be the start to a brand new food forest. So we finished the food. The ladies prepared food for the men. They are eating in the house, and so this is what we are having: some pork and some pap. And my wife bought me this mug. Subscribe to David the Good as a running joke on my channel. So we're quickly driving to Christy's mother's garden, and so the whole bucket is packed with people in the back. Christy doesn't know how to get there without going through the bushes. He doesn't know the road for the cars, and so we brought his little sister with. And let me show you the front of the road quickly, what it looks like. Okay, so this is driving. I think we should make maybe a little bit more speed so we can get there quicker. See if we can do some 4x4 while holding the phone. Okay, which side?
Stand like this.
Then like this. Okay. Maybe if we drive fast enough we can lose Joseph.
No, I can remember the way.
Straight. Okay. How far is it that we need to walk?
Not so far.
Not so far, okay. Let's have a look. Oi, wait! Road is rough, but there's lots of gardens here, eh?
Yes.
Each one's got an owner.
Yeah.
And they don't steal the... They don't come and steal the produce.
No.
There's an old man made wood. It's nice and green now with the rain. Is there any irrigation or everything just with the rain?
Just for rain.
Just for the rain. So the thorn branches are not there to keep the people out. It's there to keep these little buggers out, because they will destroy vegetable gardens in no time. Himba lady over there looking after the sheep. The Imbas, where you don't see them in this part of the country a lot, but when you do, they always have some cattle or sheep or something that they're herding, and they don't wear tops, so open breasted, and then they put on a red mud. They never bath. They use smoke as a sort of cleansing method, and fat. They use fat and mud, animal fat and mud, to rub on their bodies, and so they make a smoke, and they smoke themselves. And so you never give one of those a lift, because you'll never be able to clean your car again. But they are extremely friendly people, and even though people not wearing clothes, you think they have no money, but if you go convert whatever cattle they have back into money, then you realize that they are wealthier than most Namibians. Cattle farming, nomad kind of people, and extremely warm towards other people. So this is the garden for Christy's mother, just pulling away the branches. Sure, it's big, eh? Very big. And you say there's no theft? Nothing. Well, it's almost unbelievable. See, they weeded recently. Yeah. So, Christy, what beans are these? Or what is it, a bean?
Yeah, it's beans.
What do you call them?
Makunde.
Makunde beans.
Yeah.
And do you, is it native here? Obviously.
Excuse me?
Is it native? Does it come, do you find them in Namibia in the wild?
Yeah.
Yeah. These are maize. Corn. Okay, sure. They are strong, eh? Amazing.
The pumpkin.
Weeds or?
The plant also this one.
It looks like pumpkins. Oh, squash.
Themselves.
There in the back. So, Christy, how do you get a land like this to farm? How do you say this is now my land, or do you just come here and make a piece? There's nobody saying this is my land or this is my land. You just come and take a piece. Huh, that's not bad. And this, did you plant this?
No, it just go like that.
Just grow, but it's a watermelon or something. Wild watermelon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you leave it.
Yeah.
Do you eat it as well? You don't eat it. Joseph, do you eat it?
Yeah. Some people eat it.
Some people eat it, but Christy doesn't eat it. Yeah, it's because I started giving him pork. Now he's full of nonsense. He's used to the good life now.
Your pigs.
Yeah?
Pigs can eat.
Pigs, very good food for pigs.
Very good food for pigs.
Okay. Okay, so this is a traditional field. I just want to, for old time's sake, quickly show you a pan. I would like to hear some suggestions in the comments on how you would make this more productive. So they space the planting times. So here in the back, or here in the front, I planted already. Those ones are a couple of weeks old. And then there in the back, they just recently planted. Another interesting thing that I want to show you is all of these anthills. Whenever you see an anthill, like there in the back, they always lean, and they always lean north. So whenever you're walking in the bush in Namibia, you want to know where's north, you look at an anthill or termite hill, termite mound, and they lean north. An interesting thing that I also want to tell you about the himbas is when the girls are about between 12 and 14 years old, they get their front teeth knocked out. Every single girl, for them it's a thing of beauty, standards of beauty, so they knock all these 4 front teeth out. So you never get a older himba lady with all of her front teeth. And yeah, so that's an interesting thing, interesting fact about the himbas. Okay, thank you very much for watching my movie. So today I want to tell you a story, not necessarily something that's funny or even it doesn't even have a punchline. It's just a story from my life. And so I thought about it on the way back here from the work that we've done in the township today, and it brought up this memory from our younger days. So I lived in Mozambique from ages of about 18 until 24, 22. But anyway, at this stage, in this moment, I was about 19, and I lived on this little island. And so one day I was tasked of joining a ferry to go to the mainland. There was a ferry gone missing, but that's a story for another day. So I was sort of the person that had to make sure that the ferry gets to the mainland, get fuel, and come back. And so we left at about 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's not far, it's about 15 kilometers. And it was very, very misty, very cold on this aluminium raft. And so one of my special powers is falling asleep basically anywhere. And so I fell asleep on this thing, and I woke up a couple of times, and it was the most amazing sunrise, the most calmest water. It was an incredible, incredible morning. The mist lifting up from the sea, sun coming up. And so we arrived on the other side. The sun was up. I guess it was maybe 6 o'clock, maybe a little bit later, but it was still cold. Sun came up, and I was extremely, extremely hungry. And so the reason the story came up is because when we were sitting down there eating, I couldn't get myself to eat with the guys. And they didn't take offense. They know our cultures are very different. They eat and lick their hands and eat and lick their hands, and it's okay. You know, that's the way they eat. But for me, I couldn't get myself, even though I produced the food, I supplied the food, I saw how it was cooked, everything was clean and nice. I couldn't get myself to eat with them. They didn't take offense. They understand our cultures are different. I sat there with them and chat with them, and we had a couple of cool drinks, and it was nice. But this brought back this memory. So I was in this town, Vilanculos, and I was extremely hungry, and I said to the guys, just feed me. Doesn't matter. And he said, I have a lady that's got a restaurant. And I thought, sure. And we went through these shanty shacks, and they weren't like these ones all dispersed. The roofs were almost touching. So you go through this little corridors, early in the morning. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, so this is how you die, because I will never get out of there again. It was this little corridors. And then at one stage, the shacks just opened up a little bit, and then it was this one shack, and in front of it there was this old broken wall. Now Mozambique is war torn, so there's all these old brick walls with bullet holes in them and cracks, and it's actually an amazing place to walk through the ruins. So they built a shack next to this ruin, and in this little courtyard thing, there was a couple of tables and chairs, all old, worn. Mine, they put two chairs on top of one another because this leg was broken of this one and this leg, so they put two chairs, and so I sat on that. And the lady said, what do you want? And I said, I don't know, just bring me what you have, in my little bit of broken Portuguese that I could speak. And she spoke to me in a little broken English that she could speak, and sat there, and she brought me tea, which was fantastic. They sell bags one at a time in Mozambique, so you can buy on the street, you can buy tea bags one at a time, and obviously the markup is crazy, but they sell them like that. And she made me tea, and then she went in, she disappeared, she brought out a little basin, told me to wash my hands, so I washed my hands, and then she brought out probably about 5 fish, about yay size in length, and they had on them thick pieces of salt, thick pieces of salt. And you peel the skin back and you eat this meat from these fish. And probably up until today, that was probably one of the best meals I've ever had. And yeah, I was that meal and that taste still sticks with me today. And so, as I said, there's no punchline behind the story. It's just a wonderful experience I had in my life, and I thought I would share it with you. And I really appreciate you guys watching my movie. I hope you have a wonderful day.